Remember, we are talking about igneous rocks, and igneous rocks are the family that comes from magma. Magma is when the melted rock is underground, and we call that intrusive. Sometimes, though, these rocks come out at places like volcanoes, and we call it lava when it hits the surface, and we classify those rocks as extrusive, outside, intrusive, below, extrusive, above. Not all magma and lava are the same. In fact, there's lots of different kinds. You can see some lava flows like a river. That's like in Hawaii. Some of it is ropey, twisted as it cools. Some of it is chunky and slow and gassy. Lots of different kinds of lava. And so today I want to show you the three main types that we have. All right, the first type is called granitic. Granitic magma. Granitic magma has a lot of silicates. You remember silicates. That is a silica tetrahedron, one silicon atom and 4 oxygen atoms around it. That is the structure that makes up quartz. And the mineral quartz is in granitic magma. When this magma cools, it tends to have a pinkish color to it. And that is because it has a mineral feldspar, which is also a silicate. Now, this is the magma that is very thick and chunky. It has a lot of gas in it, and it moves pretty slow. You can see this man is standing right in front of a lava flow, but he's not really in any danger. Granitic magma is the magma that makes up most of our bedrock for continents. Underneath mountains, that's granite and granitic magma that had cooled. Now notice in this picture that continental crust is a lot different than oceanic crust. Under the oceans, the rock is much thinner, and it's a totally different kind of magma that makes it. So let's do that one next. The second type of magma is basaltic. Granitic and basaltic. They are opposites of each other. Instead of light silicates, they have heavy metals, things like iron. A lot of iron in basaltic magma. Instead of pink and light colored, basaltic is dark, mostly black when it cools. Instead of being slow and chunky and lots of gas, it flows like a river. It's much faster, much more fluid-like, liquid. And instead of making up mountains and continents, it makes up the floor of the ocean. The bottom of the ocean is basaltic. Now the third type, called andesitic, say that one more time for you, andesitic. Andesitic is a mix. It is when granitic, the continents, mixes with basaltic, the ocean crust. And so instead of dark or light, we get in between. We get gray, dark and light. We get a lot of gas from the continents, but we get the flowing aspect of the oceans. And so we get these huge flows of ash and lava that come down the mountain. We have an area around the Pacific Ocean, and we call it the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is a whole bunch of volcanoes, and big earthquakes happen there as well. And so we have lots of mountains around the Ring of Fire. But it's where the continents meet the ocean, where the continent crust and the ocean crust mix or come together. It's called the Ring of Fire. And so that's why we get lots of gas and lots of explosions and lots of lava and ash. All right, yesterday we looked at the 9 main igneous rocks, and we said that the 3 along the top are classified as coarse. We can see big minerals in them. They cool slow and intrusive. The middle section here are rocks that have fine texture, small crystals, mostly one color. And the bottom are the weirdos, the ones that are either shiny, glassy, or they have holes or pores. So those are our 3 main textures. But we can also see in this chart that we have the 3 types of magma. If we look at the left-hand side, the rocks that are mostly pink, this bottom rock is a little bit weird. We'll talk about it later in the week. But the ones that are mostly pink are granitic, the continent magma. Here's the opposite. These are basaltic. They're dark. That's the ocean crust magma. And in the middle, where they mix, that's the gray magma, andesitic. That's pretty cool, right? So we've got our textures, and we've got our magma types. And if we know those 2 things, that's how we find the name of an igneous rock. And that's what we're going to work on the rest of the week. We'll see you on Thursday. Remember that tomorrow is a no Zoom day. There will be a short little quiz on Canvas. You'll have to answer the questions for homework. No Zoom tomorrow. 7:20 Zoom on Thursday. Have a good one.